What's going on, my friends? I hope you're well. You caught me starting out taking drinking some coffee here. I wanna get on here and talk about something about sync licensing. Of course, if you answer things on Facebook or in these forums, just be expected somebody's going to want to know more. And I may have started alarmed somebody or caused a riff or something. I don't know what I did. I didn't say anything negative, which I will tell you, if you have a problem with something or somebody, don't ever name names. Don't do that on internet. Don't point somebody out. If you talk about a broad subject of things, it doesn't take them long to figure out who you're talking about. But just, for your sake, don't do it. But I'm in a Facebook group, and it's kind of a group to where they talk about all these people. I can't remember which one it was. Something called Guru Shitposting or something. I don't know, but a lot of these guys start talking about all these people that are trying to offer courses that are not qualified to do it. I mean, a lot of these people trying to maybe mislead or take advantage of young or new composers or all this elite group shit that goes on. And somebody in the group, one of the moderators said, if we did a panel at the Production Music Conference this year, what would you like for us to talk about? And there were some other comments that kind of made me go, just in general, just said, how about we talk about all these people that are trying to get people in these so-called elite groups and charging them $1,200 a year or something, that's all I said. And one of them comments says, well, do tell. I'm like, oh, dude, I don't really want to get into it. I just said, it's disappointing. There's people doing that. And I said, somebody had a booth at last year's conference. Maybe I shouldn't have said that too. That it was a little disappointing, but maybe there's something I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not trying to demean somebody by any stretch. And the guy that had this booth, he's an incredible talent. He's really brought forth a lot of great information on YouTube. And of course, back then this has been a year or two ago, he was selling a course. And I think he would have been I think he's good for it because he's an amazing talent and he's really successful in this industry. What disappointed me is I walked up to this booth and it's wanting to know what all this is about. I mean, whoever did his graphics and the signs was incredible. If there was a contest last year who had the best booth, he would have won it, hands down, And he just started going, man, we getting all these $100,000 placements and we're doing all this stuff. And just say we got to get in on it, it's this elite group and all this stuff. And, the cost is $1,200 a year and it's going to go up. You got to book by tonight. And a lot of big things come to the first year I can't talk about. I'm like, I've been doing this for 15 years and that's the first thing an experienced composer like myself would walk away from because it's like, first of all, no placements or anything is guaranteed in this business. And especially when they didn't want to tell you what genre or types of music that it caters to. Singer-songwriters, instrumental cues, what does it pertain to? What is the facet? Didn't want to tell you. And it just kind of, I didn't think much of it then. I wasn't mad then. It just kind of said, walked away from it like, no one could tell me, like, I'm asking, y'all know what that's about? No one knew. I know him. He's a hell of a composer. He's a great guy. But I heard comments being made for other people like, man, that's that pay-for-play bullshit, and it's not cool to do. Trying to get money out of people. And there's so many opportunities in the world that they will never charge you money for. If you want to write for advertising, I said this before, there are music houses and people that cater to that. If you professionally present yourself and get a show reel and what you do, you might be able to get an opportunity to present some music and give them a shot, So many publishing libraries and music libraries that take your music and sign it because of your talent and who you are. They don't ask for money. That's not who they are. And it kind of left a bad taste in my mouth of like, why is he doing that? It just doesn't seem right. Maybe am I missing something? And apparently it was a comment like, please call me. And I don't want to say who, but she's a director of an organization. And she said, I've got to know what's going on. It's things that concern me. You didn't start anything. I just need to make sure everything's okay. We have rules and things that we don't allow at our conference, and we want to make sure that everything's on the up. I'm like, I didn't want to start a riff. I didn't mean to do that. And if somebody's mad, I'll apologize. I'll redact that comment. She goes, no. Let's talk Monday. I'm like, oh God. Now I'm on a Zoom call, and I don't know who else is going to be on that call, but I think the point of it, and they would understand, and when I explain it, is that this gives people the idea that are experienced that it's that pay for play, and it's that white elephant in the room that we need to talk about. It needs to be talked about at these conferences. You've got people in these Facebook groups. This is the point of my video today is this. Be careful what you buy into. Be careful what people tell you. Remember the video I talked about shaming you into things? This is falling in line with that. You have people in these Facebook groups trying to shame you and say, you never make music with instrumental cues. It's all about singer-songwriter. These couple of guys, I'm not going to name their name, but it's hard to figure out if you've been in those Facebook groups. They're going in there trying to shame people, and I don't think they're posted much in there because they've been kind of run off. I'm like, that's not cool because you're wrong. If anybody tells you you're never going to make any money in the back end with instrumental music, this bullshit. I'm just going to tell you straight up, pardon my French. They lied to you. Because I know guys right now making 6 figures a year or more back end. So I know one guy that's doing children's music. He's always back end. He's killing it. I mean, these guys do other things. Who cares about that? Don't let anybody ever shame you into that. And be careful what you buy into. And like, you got these elite groups, and it costs money a year, and all this stuff. And we've got all this, and we're the only ones to be with, and all this, a lot of cool stuff. And it's all this crap that inside it may have merit. It may have a lot of opportunities, but is that for you? You don't know that. Don't go lay $1,200 on the table and say it's for me. Because what bothers me is it gets these young composers going, oh man, I got the code. I've got the access to this. This is it, man. We got this. And you get in there, it has nothing to do with you. You're not a singer-songwriter, or if it's not your genre, or it's trailer music and you don't do it and you do this, or you somehow just don't fit. Remember I said you're not a fit for every library. You could be in a group of people that you're just like, why am I not getting selected here? What's going on, And no one wants to communicate with you. I don't know. It may be a whole different thing. It may be, that's the part I don't know. That's why you don't name names and start calling people out until you understand. That's why I said in that post, if I'm wrong, somebody please help me understand. Correct me, please. I'm human. I'm not the be all end all. I don't know everything. But you got to be careful what you buy into. I will tell you, you got a lot of people trying to get courses that haven't been in this industry long at all. They haven't been in it. They haven't been in the trenches to understand it. They want to download this for $30 and it's a course on how to get in the sync. Well, YouTube, free of charge, can give you a good idea how to get started in the sync. I'm one that will lead you to good resources that I trust because I know these people and I know them, I trust them, and they're extremely successful and they're good. They're better than me at educating and teaching because that's not my MO. I like to get on here and talk about the things that have worked for me. There's a couple other guys like Paul Croteau. He's the same way. I just like to talk about what works for me. I like to get on and talk about that. John Mayer is a great example. Follow Jesse. I talk about Jesse. That's the only course right now I could probably tell you if you were to take one, because it's more than that. There's a lot of resources. Dave Croft and his group 52 Qs is incredible. He's got a section where you get all these videos archive of watching him compose these genres of music, and he's not afraid to explain to you, where his take on it and what his strengths are. It really is amazing. He had it on for a while on Patreon. It's not there. He moved it into his group. But guys, I just want to get on, man. Just say, be careful what you buy into here on YouTube and the internet with all these people trying to sell courses or trying to get you in pay to play and all this stuff. A lot of them don't have the best of intentions and some of them do. This particular guy may not have been malicious. He may have great intentions, but I don't think he stopped to realize that it kind of leaves a bad taste in people's mouth when it's what they perceive. Understand that perception is 9/10 of reality. And you're stepping back going, I thought that was a library. And he's like going, yeah, $1,200, get involved and all this stuff. And we got all these opportunities. Like, man, I've been doing this for 15 years and I'm not buying into that. It may be, but I'm not taking the chance of a non-refundable $1,200 you got in for a year and not understand fully what you're offering, what's going on. And it may be a course, educational. It may be some interactive things with that. And if that's the case, all power to him. But he didn't present it as that in detail. I didn't get that idea. So just do your research. Be careful. Ask questions. There are people that can help you, people that might know. Listen, people have already gotten on the forums asking about this outfit and some other things. And sometimes you don't know what to just answer that question because I don't know anything about the group. And I just think that the white elephant in the room that needs to be talked about is this pay-for-play access stuff and people trying to offer courses that haven't been in the industry as long and you not knowing that how qualified they are. Sorry, got some Quest chips here I'm nibbling on. But anyway, just think about that stuff. Be careful what you buy into on the internet and focus on that, man. Focus on learning and doing that. And I might be one of the few that are talking about this. Just be careful of some of these people trying to get you in these so-called songwriting groups and trying to shame you into don't do instrumental cues. You do you, and you do what works for you. Whether you're a singer-songwriter, trailer composer, orchestral, hip-hop, rock, you name it. My best advice is that you start with your strengths, what you're the best at, and run with that. That's why I told you on a side note, like Taxi is probably the only company I could say that is legitimate to a certain degree. I know they charge a membership each year and $5 per placement, but there's a deterrence there, and Mike explains it. They've been around for 30 years, and I understand. Now, would everybody agree with me on that? No. 100% is probably it is kind of negating what I just said, but it's up to you. I just know that they're ethical and I know they're upfront, and it's obvious what they've been doing for years because there's so many people successful at it. But with Taxi, you can only go so far. You have to branch out. Every guy that's been with Taxi, even Matt Vanderboe and even the other guys, they have branched out and signed with other libraries. They've collaborated with people and they've branched out. It's a good launch pad, but it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. So just be careful on this stuff and just kind of I'm not saying to be too cautious on that deal to a point where you're running yourself away from opportunities, but you'll know. You got a lot of people out there that can mislead you or might not be doing things ethically, and you just want to take your music and put it in the library, take half your writers. There's people out there doing that right now. It's not cool. I don't like it. I don't buy into that theory. I don't need somebody to put my music into a library. I need somebody to collaborate if I want to. I've talked about that. But it needs to be talked about. And I hate to say that, but it does need to be talked about. And how it will, that's up to them. I don't want to be the one that sits up there and being the be-all, end-all, because I'm not, God knows I'm not at a point where I feel like I want to get up there and talk at a panel at these conferences because I don't know where I've been doing this 15 years and I still have a feeling of like I don't know if I have the authority to say something like that or to give advice on somebody it's the imposter syndrome that we get sometimes of like, well, he's doing better than me in this industry and he's been in longer. He might want to ask him, I might know. But do you feel comfortable with doing that? I feel comfortable telling you what works for me and my experiences. And this is part of my experiences, the things I've seen and the things I've made the mistake one time, paying into that and going, that's it. For me, I feel like I got ripped off on that deal. But you live and you learn. It's part of being in the trenches on this deal and understanding. So listen, keep these things in mind. Just be careful what you buy into and don't let anybody shame you anything and you'll be fine. And keep it real. Keep plugging away at that music and making it happen, guys. Other than that, I appreciate you for watching and we'll see you on the next one. Be cool. Thanks. Bye.